I was thinking of putting a lot of my cash in Swiss francs in Switzerland. And I did an analysis, and I actually came to the conclusion is the opposite. I think Switzerland is a house of cards. I think Switzerland could default. When I say that, people were like, are you completely insane? It has like very low debt to GDP, a stable, homogenous population. They're extraordinarily wealthy. They're politically stable. They are the safe haven of all safe havens. The issue is they're a house of cards. In 2006, if you looked at Iceland looked like they were the amazing example of the way you should run your economies. But what people had not realized is that their banks had accumulated like 10x of GDP and bad assets. And the default of the banks basically made the country default. And like the stock market fell 90%, the krona fell 35%. And there were two big banks in Switzerland, UBS and Credit Suisse, that have been at the center of every one of the bad underwriting crises of the last like decade, like Archegos, Greensill, Luckin Coffee, you name it. Just on paper, I think they have foreign currency denominated loans of like 400% GDP. And I think it's probably, if you include off balance sheet, it's like 10x GDP. And imagine that you have, for whatever reason, a massive crisis of confidence in those, and maybe repricing these assets, like default of some of their underlying assets. They're too big to bail. So it's not too big to fail. They're too big to bail. They're so big that the Swiss government does not have the underwriting power to underwrite it. And I could see them failing. It would lead to one of the biggest financial crises of all times.